Hello and welcome. I'm Asuma Katauka and you're watching the World Report on NewsX World. Let's take a look at the top headlines of this hour. A member of Iran's security forces was killed during protests that have swept across the country since last week, local media reports. Several people killed and others injured after an explosion ripped through a bar in the luxury alpine ski resort town of Kherson, Montana. In a first, 34-year-old New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani takes his oath on a centuries-old Quran. He now becomes the first Muslim, first South Asian, and first African-born person to hold that position. Australia has removed tariffs from all Indian exports to the country, implementing the agreements reached under the Australia-India Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement signed 3 years ago. The United States has carried out strikes against 3 vessels in international waters that were suspected of narco trafficking. According to the U.S. Southern Command, the vessels were traveling as a convoy. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced the withdrawal of National Guard troops from Portland, Chicago, and Los Angeles, hints at stronger comeback in the future. Russian President Vladimir Putin has voiced his confidence on victory in Ukraine, while his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky has warned that peace cannot come at any cost in their respective New Year's addresses to their countries. Elon Musk's brain implant company Neuralink will start high-volume production of brain-computer interface devices and move to an entirely automated surgical procedure in 2026, Musk said in a post on his social media platform X. Now we start with China. Chinese President Xi Jinping has called the reunification of China and Taiwan unstoppable in his New Year's speech. Xi has emphasized that people on both sides are bound by blood ties thicker than water. This statement came just days after China conducted its largest ever live-fire military drills around Taiwan, forcing Taiwan to cancel dozens of flights and deploy jets and warships for monitoring. China views Taiwan as part of its territory and hasn't ruled out the use of force to assert control. Taiwan, however, rejects Beijing's claims. Xi also highlighted China's robust economic performance, with the nation's GDP set to reach around $20 trillion. The country is on track to meet its annual growth target of 5% and will roll out more stimulus policies in 2026 to further boost economic growth. Let's in fact listen into what the Chinese President Xi Jinping has said.
两岸同胞血浓于水，祖国统一的历史大势不可阻挡。我国经济总量连续跨越新关口。 今年预计达到140万亿元，经济实力、科技实力、国防实力、综合国力跃上新台阶。
Now we move on to our next news. Russia's installed governor in Ukraine's southern Kherson region has accused Ukrainian forces of killing at least 24 people in a drone strike during New Year celebrations. Governor Vladimir Saldo has said the attack hit a hotel and a café in the coastal village of Korli, claiming 3 Ukrainian drones struck the site in what he described as a deliberate attack. According to reports by the local emergencies ministry, 29 others were injured. Ukraine's military did not immediately respond to requests for comment, and no independent visuals or evidence were provided to verify the claim. Kherson is one of 4 Ukrainian regions claimed by Russia in 2022, a move rejected by Kyiv and widely condemned by Western countries as illegal. Now for this discussion, we welcome retired Major General Dr. Rajan Kochhar. He's an international relations expert, joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much, retired Major General Dr. Kochhar, for joining, and Happy New Year to you. Now looking at this again, as you know, even though it's New Year's, there's no stopping of this war. It seems like, do you think that we will soon see another talk between US, Russia, and Ukraine?
Thank you very much, and very happy
Thank you.
New to
Happy.
you as well as to all the viewers of NewsX World. Uh, the last couple of days, though the talks have been going on, and Zelensky and Trump have also met, but the ground realities are different. Russians are wanting to escalate the offensive. And that's why we are seeing an information war also happening side by side, claims, counterclaims. We heard about an attack on Putin's residence also, and that was negated by the Ukrainians, saying that they didn't have anything to do with that. And now we are seeing in Kherson. Kherson is internationally, as of now, it is recognized as a part of Ukraine, but has been under Russian military control and occupation since 2022. So basically, if we have to uh, believe what the Kherson governor is trying to say, then definitely you it gives an opportunity for the Russians to escalate the war, and and also justify to its own domestic audience uh, the rationale for continuing this war even after 3.5 years. And with such large casualties, 24 of them, as we have come to know, I don't think uh, this would be a false claim. Because if you have such large casualties taking place, it's not a building being hit and one or two casualties. It was a cafe on the New Year Eve, and if this attack is taking place, I have no doubt in my mind that the Russians are going to escalate it, and uh, and possibly carry out a retaliatory strike in a similar manner to cause even more casualties to the civilians. So it's very unfortunate that Ukraine is now trying desperate measures, because possibly I have a feeling that Ukraine doesn't want a ceasefire as of now. And this has been the tone of Zelensky also, and he is being supported uh, by the European Union. I think it's a very foolhardy, assumption on the part of Zelensky to toe the line of the European Union, because the European Union is not giving him anything to fight this war. He is fighting the war on his own, and Trump is interested for a ceasefire, and Trump may harden his stand with the Ukraine if Zelensky is not going to relent. So, in the near future, of course, I don't see, if we talk about the winter campaign of the Russians, which will go up to around May of this year. Till May, I can safely assume, or we can safely assume, that there won't be any let up in this war, nor there would be any ceasefire happening. And Russians are on the ascendancy. Ukrainian army is tiring. They are mentally and physically tired. Their resources are limited because they are dependent on Western support, and Western means United States. And the United States will slowly start turning off the tap. And if that happens, then I don't think Ukraine can carry on this battle for a very long time. And till at least May, I don't foresee any reduction in the intensity as far as the Russians are concerned.
With that, I would like to thank retired Major General Dr. Rajang Kochar for joining us and sharing that insight with us on NewsX World. Thank you very much. Now we move on to U.S. Zohran Mamdani has been sworn in as New York City's 112th mayor just after midnight on New Year's Day. The oath was administered by New York Attorney General Letitia James at the historic former City Hall subway station. However, Mamdani, now the city's first Muslim mayor, was joined by his wife Rama Duwaji and key officials, including the new Transportation Commissioner. In his first remarks, the importance of public transit and affordability was emphasized. He had scheduled a larger public inauguration today on the steps of City Hall. Let's listen into what Zohran Mamdani has to say.
Thank you so much for everyone for being here. Happy New Year to New Yorkers, both inside this tunnel and above. And I cannot wait to see everyone tomorrow as we begin our term. This is truly the honor and the privilege of a lifetime. And after just having taken my oath to become the mayor of the city of New York, I do so also here in the old City Hall subway station, a testament to the importance of public transit, to the vitality, the health, and the legacy of our city.
It's especially meaningful to be here tonight in this incredible station. I can't help but think back to the childhood me who was endlessly fascinated by the city's subways, bridges, tunnels, and other infrastructure. But that's only one of the many reasons that I'm thrilled to be joining Mayor Mamdani and the team, who fundamentally understand the role that transportation plays in the day-to-day lives.
Now for this discussion, we welcome former ambassador, Mr. Suresh Goel. He's a former Indian diplomat, joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for joining us, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, looking at this, how significant is the fact that, African Indian origin mayor has now has become one of the most vibrant and cosmopolitan city of the world?
Well, New York always has been a very vibrant, very cosmopolitan city, and anyone who has lived in New York for even a month would always vouch how he or she took to the city. Now, the question is how important it is for Mamdani to become a mayor of such a city. I think with Mamdani coming at the back of an election where he was really not the most favorite candidate to begin with, first of all being an African Indian, not really one of those Democrats known native of New York. He was really quite out of the way back. But it's important that he has finally come to the election and been won over it. It shows that he has been able to understand what the people of New York really want. And that includes really the infrastructure. Transport is one of them. That includes the jobs for the people. And that includes housing. And he has come at the back of really some of the most fundamental demands of the people in New York to be the mayor. So I think on the whole, very significant. And most importantly, he is firmly wedded to his Indian roots. I mean, if you remember his election victory celebration, he came singing at the back of the loud Bollywood music. Yes. So on the whole, I think we have to observe and watch, but very interesting.
Yes, indeed, and thank you for highlighting that. And Ambassador, although he has promised, or he has taken this popularity because he knows what the middle class wants in New York and what he hears the people. Do you think it might be challenging for him to actually make it come true, those policies that he has strived for now?
Of course, he will have lots and lots of challenges, because for many of the projects he has underlined, he would be depending on federal funding. And if President Trump's at any given point he feels that the project that Mamdani wants to execute cannot be funded, or if he just denies him funds for whatever reason, then there is a problem. So Mamdani will have to really negotiate a very fine walk in terms of connections with Washington, and also the bridge between Democrats and the Republicans. It's not an easy kind of a connection, but I think the way he has been speaking, he feels reasonably confident that he will be able to bridge the gap.
Right. And once again, do you think that he will be, he, like you highlighted on our first discussion question, that, he's not the typical or orthodox person that we picture as a New York City mayor. How do you think this multicultural, his background, and this will be reflecting on his journey as a mayor?
New York is a very multiracial city, and there are people from all kinds of nationalities, communities, religions, races who live in their different parts of New York, a melting pot. In that sense, I think it's truly a very, very multi-ethnic, multi-hued kind of a city, where you can find all the languages of the world, you can find all the cuisines of the world, you can find all the cultural stripes of the world. So from that point of view, it should be easy for a person like Mamdani, who himself is born out of multicultural and multi-racial kind of a family. If you remember, his mother is an Indian, his father is, if I'm not mistaken, Ugandan Muslim, but his father is a Muslim, mother is a Hindu. So he himself is a multicultural. He had given all indication that he is not going to be a kind of a fundamental or fanatic kind of a person. At the same time, politics in New York, and I'm saying that on the basis of having lived there for quite some time, politics in New York is really managed by very narrow kind of groups, mostly by Catholics, not Catholics, by Catholicism, but mostly Christian community, Protestants, and many of, it's very, very difficult to imagine the governance of the city now going to somebody who is not a Christian, if you know what I mean. Difficult to say it. So it's going to be interesting for him to negotiate that path when, not as a Christian, he will be actually running or managing heavily Christian politics.
Yes, it will be interesting, and we will be eyeing that. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for sharing that. Please stay with us as we come back to you for our next discussion as well. Now, moving the focus to Asia. A once banned Bangladeshi Islamist party, poised for its strongest electoral showing in February's parliamentary vote of Bangladesh, is open to joining a unity government with other parties. Opinion polls suggest that Jamaat-e-Islami will finish a close second to the Bangladesh Nationalist Party in the first election it has contested in nearly 17 years, as it marks a return to mainstream politics in the predominantly Muslim nation of 175 million. According to Shafiqur Rahman, president of Jamaat, the Prime Minister will come from the party winning the most seats in the February 12th election, and if Jamaat wins the most seats, the party will decide whether he himself could be a candidate. Jamaat last held power between 2001 and 2006 as a junior coalition partner with the BNP and is open to working with it again. Let's in fact listen into what the president of Bangladeshi Islamist Party have shared.
Because we want to see a stable nation, at least for 5 years. If the parties come together, that we'll run the government together, But we have given 3 conditions to every party. Number 1, party will remain free from corruption. It will not give any shelter or show any weakness to any people who is corrupt. Number 2, will ensure social justice for all. No political interference will be allowed there. Number 3, for fulfilling the people's aspiration, all the issues of reforms will ensure, will support. If any party agrees with these 3 conditions, they are most welcome.
Now, for this discussion, we welcome back former Ambassador Suresh Goyal. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for staying with us. Can you tell us a little bit background about this Jamaat-e-Islami? Why were they barred from elections before, and how might this return to mainstream politics affect Bangladesh and its politics now?
Asuma, my apologies, but I need to go to another TV station in less than a minute, and therefore I will be very brief.
Yes,
the Jamaat-e-Islami Party has been known as an Islamic fundamentalist party, and therefore it was banned during the time of Sheikh Hasina. BNP and this party has worked together before in the government, and Islamist party is looking for basically an opening in Bangladeshi politics, and therefore it is quite open to alliances with any other party who wins to come to the power. Because in this election, Awami League party has already been banned, therefore the only other party which is open now is BNP. And therefore the alliance between the two would be quite comfortable for the Islamic Party as well as for the BNP. BNP is likely to win the majority if they are the only other big party in the elections. So I think in that case, BNP is not going to say no to alliance with Jamaat-e-Islami. And with this, please, Asuma, I must leave.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining and sharing that. Thank you very much. And with that, I would like to move on to our next news. To Europe, Bulgaria has officially become the 21st member of the Eurozone. Celebrations erupted in Sofia with fireworks and crowds gathering outside the central bank. The historic moment was marked by a countdown on the bank's facade, showing new Bulgarian euro coins and the EU flag. Many Bulgarians are optimistic about the change. Marketing researcher Yalvo Sotirov has said that it has the final step in Bulgaria's integration into the European Union. Despite strong opposition from half the population, Bulgaria has joined the Eurozone, leaving just a few EU countries without the euro. However, Eurosceptic parties in other nations may slow further expansion. That's all we have time for. Keep watching NewsX World for more news updates from around the world.